Well, hi there, and welcome to our Sunday song time. And this time I have, I don't know if it's really a hymn. It is a song, more of a country gospel song. And it goes back quite a ways. We don't know exactly who wrote it. It's been attributed to a number of different authors over the years. But over the years, it has been recorded by such an eclectic range of people, singles, and groups over the years. Now, as I mentioned, it's a country gospel song, so you would expect people like Hank Williams and Roy Acuff and Johnny Cash. They did versions of it. Brad Paisley, a little more recent version of it. It was done by Elvis Presley, done by Sam Cooke. It was done by the Flying Burrito Brothers, yes, and the Byrds, and even Ike and Tina Turner did a version of this song. Now, maybe the nicest, and in fact, you'll want to check it out on YouTube if you haven't heard it or haven't heard it in a while, but probably one of the best versions, and I won't come anywhere near close enough to matching it, as you'll know. But back in 1987, Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris, and Linda Ronstadt recorded this song and included it in their great album called Trio. The song is called Farther Along. And the idea is that, and sometimes in this life, there are all kinds of things that we don't understand. And we wonder, if God loves me, and if there is a God of love in the first place, why are things going so difficult for me right now? What's going on? Doesn't he care? And a lot of people ask that question. And someday we're going to understand everything. Some of you will know some wonderful words. You hear them at weddings. There's a chapter in the Bible called the love chapter, right? Love is patient, love is kind. It's 1 Corinthians 13. You can even look it up online and find it there. And in that chapter, Paul the apostle, he says, now we know just in part. It's like looking through a bad mirror. I can't really see everything in this life. But someday we will know fully, even as we are fully known. And so there's that hope and assurance that we have. And I hope you'll find some of that assurance as I do this song for you. Farther along, we're going to know all about it. Tempted and tried, we're oft made to wonder why it should be thus all the day long, while there are others living among us, never molested, though in the wrong. Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. When death has come and taken our loved ones, it leaves our home so lonely and drear. Then do we wonder why others prosper, living so wicked year after year. Farther along, we'll know all about it. Farther along, we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. Faithful till death, said our loving Master. A few more days to labor and wait, toils of the road will then seem as nothing as we sweep through the beautiful gates. Farther along we'll know all about it. Farther along we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. Yes, we'll understand it all by and by. Farther along, gonna know all about it. You know, there's an interesting psalm back in the Old Testament, Psalm 73, and it was written by Asaph. And he kind of went through this very same thing. And in fact, I wonder if the author of this song wasn't thinking about this one. Because he talks about how his feet had almost slipped. He had nearly lost his foothold. And he tells us why. He says, "For I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." Well, they have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. They're free from common human burdens. They're not plagued by human ills. You ever think about that with some people? You know, well, especially how we present ourselves online, right? Oh, everything's great. I'm doing well. Oh, I'm not doing so well. How come they're doing so well, right? And that's what he was saying too. Like, well, they haven't necessarily gotten their wealth by proper means, legal means. I know they've even cheated some people. They're doing so well. Their evil imaginations have no limits. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, and their tongues take possession of the earth. So they talk about heaven, but they don't live like they're going there. They live like they're more attached to the earth. And therefore, their people turn to them and drink up waters in abundance. You know, it's like, as long as you have money, you'll always have lots of friends. You ever notice that? And they say, how would God know? And does the Most High know anything? Right? Does God perceive anything? Is there even a God? And he says, yeah, and maybe they're right. He says, surely in vain I've kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence all day long. I've been afflicted. Every morning brings new punishments. He says, when I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply until I entered the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their final destiny. When I kind of took my eyes off of myself and began to get closer to God again, then I began to see, oh, hold on, there's some sense to following Him. And their destiny is not the same as my destiny, he was saying here. And he says, as for me, it is good to be near God. I've made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds. If you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I've been serving God for what? For what? Right? Other people, they seem to be doing just fine without Him. Well, and let's face it, we live in a very prosperous country here in Canada. You can do just fine without God. You can. Yeah, of course you can. In this life. But drawing near to God, it really changes your perspective. And then you begin to understand that, okay, and just as the psalmist says, my heart and my flesh, they may fail. Oh, yeah. But God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. I don't know everything right now. And, you'd even be disappointed in some of the things I don't know. But I know the one who holds the future, who holds my future. And someday, all the perplexing things, they're going to vanish when I stand in His presence. And someday, everything's going to make sense. You keep following Him. I pray that you will. And farther along, we're both going to know all about it. And when you think about it, that's for people that hey, they're getting away with stuff. No, they might get away with stuff here, but we do reap what we sow, don't we? Nobody gets anything past God. And, well, that might even be a word someone needs to hear today as well. May God richly bless you as you continue to follow him on even some rough and rocky roads.